Mechs have been one of the most important vehicles throughout all of Ninjago. Each of the 6 main ninja have used one throughout Ninjago's run, as well as a few villains. Plus, I really like mechs, which is why I thought that it would be fun to count down the top 10 LEGO Ninjago mechs. Now remember, this list is only my opinion, and feel free to leave your own list down below. Cole's mech from Rebooted is pretty basic as far as LEGO mechs go. The mech itself has no play features, although it can connect to the back of the Thunder Raider, but it makes up for the lack of play features and posability. The mech has better articulation than most mechs, and although it is nothing special, it is enough to bring this set to number 10. Jay's Electromech is essentially identical to Cole's Rebooted mech, but what sets it apart is that it has 2 play features. The first one being 2 stud shooters on the wrist, and the second one being retractable blades on the back. And while they aren't really that much, it is enough to bring it just ahead of the Rebooted mech to number 9. The Golden Mech is a solid mech, but it isn't anything special, and while that is partially because it is the secondary build of its respective set, it still has some problems. The legs are very gappy and somewhat unfinished looking. The mech also looks very awkward without a minifigure, but that's just a minor issue. Overall, the mech's good, but it's not quite as good as some of the other mechs. The Dawn of Iron Doom is arguably one of the most unique mechs to come out of Ninjago. It features a spring-loaded shooter on the head, a whipping tail, and a rotating disc in the center of the mech, which can also hold all 4 of the time blades. However, the mech is not perfect. The arms on the mech are extremely restricted, barely being able to move back and forth at all, which is an extremely unnecessary flaw in the design because all that needed to be done to fix it would be to swap out one piece, and for a $70 set you would expect LEGO to make that simple fix. However, other than that one issue, the mech is great, which is why it takes number 7. Zane was one of the last ninja to get a full-fledged mech, but the one he did receive is one of the best Ninjago has to offer. It's one of the most unique mechs out there, using a ninja and samurai hybrid-like design, as well as including a head. As for features, the mech has stud shooters as well as a waist articulation feature, which is useful for slashing, which is something that's particularly good for this mech. And overall, it's a pretty well-rounded mech with a unique style, but nothing hugely special about it when compared to others. The Mecha Man is one of the most underrated mechs out there in my opinion. It's definitely not the best mech ever made, but it's much better than what we've come to expect from normal LEGO mechs. And although it is massively downscaled from the movie version, the mech still looks cool and has great articulation in the arms, even including finger articulation. And although it is missing knee articulation, which is something that pretty much every LEGO mech suffers from, it really isn't as bad as people make it out to be. It also has tons of great details all around it and some decent features. Overall, the mech is really good, but it's nowhere near as good as the top 4. Coming in at number 4, we have the second half of the Titan Mech battle, being the Ghost Samurai Mech. The mech is a remix on Nia's original Samurai Mech, which adds an extra set of arms, makes great use of the Ghost color scheme, and it has all the articulation that a mech needs. The only issues this mech has is that it lacks any built-in play features. However, it's the integration of CCBS parts as well as its overall build that is enough to put it ahead of the Mecha Man for me, because personally I really like CCBS and I do love it when they can integrate it into system in new and different ways, and that makes this mech feel a lot more unique to me. From the Ghost Samurai Mech, we get the original Samurai Mech. This mech was the first mech Ninjago ever had, and it remains one of the best today. From the design to the articulation, this mech has it all. The shoulder-mounted cannon is well integrated, the hand can grip minifigures, and it has waist articulation, which has both posability and playability. If this mech had knee articulation, it may have been perfect. However, even with all of that, it's not enough to reach the top 2. Kai's Fire Mech from the Ninjago movie is widely considered to be one of the greatest mech LEGO has ever released. The design and detailing of the mech is absolutely great and unlike any other mech Ninjago has offered. Plus, it has extremely well integrated disc shooters and spinning flames. This is yet another mech which would be widely considered perfect if it had knee articulation. However, unfortunately it does not, but the mech is still very, very good. And finally, at number 1 we have Cole's Quake mech. The Quake mech and the Fire mech are very interchangeable in terms of preference. Both are great in their own rights, but for us, the uniqueness of the Quake mech's design was enough to edge out the Fire mech for the number 1 spot. The unicycle-like design is unlike anything I've ever seen in mechs, and although it's not perfect, it's more than good enough. The mech also has a cool samurai-like design as well as hidden flick fire missiles, and overall it's great and it's the best mech that Ninjago has to offer in my opinion. And that was it for my top 10 LEGO Ninjago mechs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave your own lists in the comment section below. And that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.